Today we are taking a drive through Flint, Michigan and Detroit, Michigan. We're probably not going to get out. We're probably just going to drive through because we're trying to make some miles today, but decided to give you guys a little look at this part of Michigan.
Welcome to the Adventure Closet. I'm Liz and this is Charlie. We are two 80s and 90s kids that never lost their sense of wonder. We're all over the map, exploring wild and abandoned places, discovering rocks, geology, and history of different areas, all while living and traveling in our minivan Opal. I guess you can say our life is a mixtape of adventures. So hop in the van, hit the subscribe button, and let's go somewhere. In 2014, the city of Flint, Michigan was experiencing a budget crisis. This led to the fateful decision from local government of disconnecting from the Detroit Water and Sewage Department to then channel water from the Flint River to its 100,000 residents. The residents began to complain about foul tastes and smells, even reports of illness and hair loss. Officials still failed to take proper measurements to ensure the water was clean and safe from metals and contaminants. Turns out that the community, which included 9,000 children, were being supplied lead-filled water for 18 months. Also, a lack of treatment caused a breeding ground of pneumonia-causing bacteria, which led to the third largest outbreak of legionnaires disease in the U.S. history, killing 12 residents. The lead poisoning alone has led to a decrease in fertility in women of 12%, and fetal deaths rose to 58% in the struggling community. Surviving children exposed to the lead had increased cognitive and hearing impairments, along with delayed puberty and low birth weights. Although the water supply has changed, the communities are still in process of needing new piping to ensure safe water supply, let alone the lasting effects and injustice of government's failure to protect them. Those who could afford to have abandoned this place they once called home. Who are left are merely just regular people like us, surviving the aftermath of something that was completely out of their hands and in the trust of a broken system. We can only hope that someday they will find justice.
Well, it seems like Flint is still kind of a thriving town and city, but there's a lot on the outskirts that is burnt down and dilapidated, abandoned. And there's still some businesses here and there that seem to be closed down permanently.
Haven't seen any shady characters or anything.
Yeah, no, it's early in the morning. They're probably still asleep. But yeah, I expected worse.
I don't know. It's pretty. I mean, look at that.
Yeah,
it's hit or miss. Some places have been cared for and others not.
Yeah, well, I understand, patches of businesses that are leaving town. I mean, wow, actually, yeah, this whole strip mall is gone. And just like that, we were out of the city of Flint and into the city of Burton. So from here, we are going to head to Detroit and check out Detroit. We have heard that there are some neighborhoods in Detroit where you don't even want to stop at the stop signs. We'll try to avoid those neighborhoods. See you guys in Detroit.
With heavy hearts, we left Flint behind and entered the big city of Detroit, only to find more boarded windows, crumbling disrepair, graffiti, and homelessness. It almost seemed post-apocalyptic, and seeing it in person truly revealed why it is known to the world as the abandoned city. Wow, what that building is. Detroit has been no stranger to tragedy. The entirety of the 1700s, it was held in a game of tug-of-war between France and Britain as it was taken from its native people. In 1805, the entirety of the city was burned to the ground. Amazingly, there were no casualties, but its people had to rebuild from the ground up their entire lives. Only then to be taken over by Britain in the War of 1812. The U.S. fought back and won, but emotions must have been burning.
There's a lot of cool old brick architecture here.
Detroit did see its times of wealth and prosperity, though. The downtown neighborhoods were once lined with ornate mansions, and the bustling city was known as the Paris of the West at one point. More fortune came as Ford Motor Company set roots in Detroit in 1903. Right behind Ford came Dodge, Chrysler, Packard, as well as big shipbuilders and more. Its economy rose to the fourth largest of the U.S. by the 1920s, bringing in migrant workers by the hundreds of thousands. This brought a lot of diversity to the rapidly growing city, and with the social unrest, with the civil rights movement underway, the pressure increased to violence due to the lack of hospitality. Detroit was home to the 1943 race riot, which claimed 34 lives due to all the unrest. By 1950, the population had peaked at 1.8 million residents. It had become an asylum for those seeking to leave the racial discrimination and segregation laws of the South. But it wasn't a complete escape. Detroit was still divided by differing political opinions and a growing community of free citizens still feeling the ties of racial repression, fighting for jobs, housing, and more. The city saw many more riots over the following decades, but somehow still continued to thrive. That is until the oil crisis in the 1970s, which severely impacted the auto industry, causing unemployment to go on the rise. Detroit, feeling the effects of poverty by the 1990s, made efforts to reverse this economic trend, but it would not be able to prepare for the global recession of the late 2000s. People couldn't afford brand new cars, and the auto industry took a nosedive. Thousands of workers were let go, and without work, residents foreclosed on their homes, and 25% of the population abandoned the city in the span of 10 years. It seems Detroit has always been a place of social unrest, and without a thriving economy, there is poverty, and with poverty, there comes crime. I once heard these empty buildings described as hives for criminals. Many areas of the city were deemed unsafe. The police actually encourage you to not stop at certain stop signs. It's unsafe. We even had moments ourselves of feeling unsafe. Though on the surface, we were feeling fear, we had to sit in that feeling for a while. Us humans are like flowers. When we are cared for, loved, and given opportunity, we often thrive. We'll come to a bud, and with enough sunlight, clean water, and a safe environment, you might even see us bloom. Maybe these decaying buildings are like hives after all. Hives void of their honey, because trapped inside are honeybees we never allowed to fly. Without the symbiotic relationship a bee has with a flower, neither can thrive. Neither is more important than the other, but together the world is made more beautiful. We relate more as honeybees because we don't have much, but we want to spread kindness and see flowers bloom because we helped in some sort of way. Maybe you're more like a flower, waiting to smile at the honeybees as they fly by, offering what you can because it's in your heart to open yourself and give. Detroit and other places in this great big world could leave its battle of unrest if we could lower our fists and behave as naturally as bees and flowers. I mean, isn't that how honey is made after all? What happened there?
It looks like it's getting demolished, but that's a pretty thing. It's a pretty thing. Look at the architecture inside.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's cool.
I don't know what that was. So not a lot of people know that you can just cross the Detroit River and get into Canada. It seems so weird being so far south in Michigan and still be able to get into Canada. So that right there is the bridge to Canada. It's called the Ambassador Bridge. There's how you get back into the US.
So it turns out this is something I've never seen. We don't spend a lot of time in big cities, but there's a Mexican town, which is like an avenue with Mexican haciendas.
It's actually
Stores?
a whole neighborhood called Mexican Town.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna check it out. Yeah.
Kind of like a Chinatown in Seattle.
Yeah, I'm really curious because it's like on the opposite end of the country, like far away from Mexico. So that's pretty cool to be bordered. A Mexican town up here by the Canadian border. It's Hotel Yorba. I'll be there to see you later. All they got inside is vacancies. It's from the White Stripes.
So that right there is the Detroit River. On the other side is Canada. But check this out. Wouldn't it be fun to like play like paintball or Nerf or something in there?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Detroit Harbor Terminals.
This is where Opal was born.
But we raised her right.
Yeah.
She ain't no city car.
She was born right there in that factory. Well, looks like we're entering a new state.
We are?
Yeah.
Ready?
Find it here. Ohio.
Yeah, Ohio.
I think I missed that. But she just said welcome to Ohio.
No, she said, welcome to Ohio.
Okay, maybe that's where Opal's from, because this is the Chrysler assembly complex in Toledo,
Ohio.
Ohio. So, either way, we go out to her birthplace. Holy Toledo!
Holy Toledo. You guys have heard that expression, right?
We're in Toledo, Ohio, by the way. In the 20s and 30s, Toledo was a sanctuary for gangsters. They made an agreement with the police. If the police left them alone, then they would leave Toledo alone. So they figured that Toledo was a sanctuary for them, so they called it Holy Toledo. So that's where the Holy Toledo expression comes from. If you've even heard that. I haven't heard that in a long time, but
I'm sure a lot of you have heard that.
yeah, I'm sure.
But that's pretty cool. I never really thought about the origins of it, and here we are in
Yeah.
Toledo, Ohio.
Sometimes you don't think about the origins of things until you're like actually there. And
Yeah, like seeing Hotel Yorba back in Detroit. Like, I never really thought of it from the song until then, and then I looked it up, and the lead singer of the White Stripes, Jack, he is from Detroit, and that was just an iconic spot for him, so that's why he included it in his song.
yeah.
We're going to a supposedly very beautiful area of Ohio, and by the looks of it, I think it's true. You know, the state gemstone is Flint here, and actually Ohio has some really cool looking flint. I really hope that we come across some. We're not going to be in like the really good area for it, but we're gonna keep our eyes open because it could be anywhere.
Flint, Michigan didn't have any flint.
I didn't look at any rocks in Flint, Michigan.
I'm too busy dodging bullets.
Yeah. No, we weren't dodging any bullets. But Ohio does have some natural beauty here, so I'm excited to get deeper into it, away from the big cities.
It's the Waldo Prospect.
Waldo Prospect. Found it. Sprinkling a little bit. We're pretty close to the town of Waldo, so I think once we see it,
We're done.
we're done.
We're done with our journey.
Yep.
We have found Waldo. Oh,
I mean, that's how the Adventure Closet ends. That's what this was all about.
yeah. It was nice traveling with you guys, but now that we've found Waldo, which is right there, there's Waldo.
Just a nice little town in Ohio.
We thought it was a guy with a silly hat this whole time.
A striped shirt.
Yeah.
I guess not.
So, game over.
All right.
Bye now.
Bye now.
Just kidding. We're not going anywhere.
Spoiler alert.
Corn.
It's corn.
Farmhouse. Harvested corn. Trees. Farmland. Road signs. And I am your Ohio tour guide.
All right, we are by the Hocking Hills in the Wayne National Forest, and there is free dispersed camping in here at the OHV trailheads, and there's vault toilets there, and you can stay up to 14 days apparently. So here we are east of the Rockies finding free dispersed camping, so that is excellent. Really excited about this, and excited to show you guys. I mean, too bad we're finding it in the dark, but you can tell there's lots of beautiful trees around. We could see the silhouettes of hills. I can just tell we're gonna love it here. Oh, here's a spot. There's a vault toilet.
So we originally were going to go to the Sycamore one because it was it was the first one I found. But is that on a creek?
It kind of looks like it.
No. But there's firing there.
Yeah. No vault toilet, which isn't the end of the world, but I mean, we have the option to have them back there, so why not?
There might be one up here. We're going up in Ohio.
Yeah. And we're apparently at around 1,000 feet above sea level. It's warmed up. It's not as cold as it was in Michigan. It's nighttime and 60 degrees out. Oof. Okay.
On the ground.
So there's nobody out here. We haven't seen a soul. So pick up the litter for us. What's it gonna be?
I don't know. It says no HV on roads. So there might be another spot down here.
Okay, I'll bring you guys back on when we decide.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see this in the daylight. This is the funnest part about finding camp in the dark. Like, sometimes it's not fun, but sometimes it's like a mystery because you're gonna open your eyes in the morning and see something you've never seen before. And you guys are gonna open your eyes in our morning here and see something hopefully you've never seen before. Hey, this is the spot we chose. There's Opal.
Alright, this is kind of close to the highway.
Yes.
What the heck was that?
Oh, there's like a squirrel or something in the tree.
Might have been a katydid.
I know you guys can't see much, but neither can we.
Yeah.
So we're at the Sycamore Trailhead. There is a vault toilet over there.
And we chose this spot because it has cell service so we can research the area since we're here.
Yep.
Because we never do our research beforehand.
But we're here, and looked like there was some mines up the road. We might check that out.
Yeah, we can't go in them unfortunately because there's a sign here that says all mines and furnaces and tunnels are closed and off limits to the public.
Okay. Is that garbage I see?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So garbage and toilet, that's great.
Yeah.
Great. And lots of room. Like if we were...
Yeah, you could pull a couple big rigs in here.
Yeah.
What's that noise again?
Yeah, I think it's like a squirrel or something.
That sounds like a bug. You think?
I don't know. What do you guys think it is?
Oh, I heard another one over that way.
All right.
All right.
Night, everybody.
Night. Okay, you can open your eyes now. Check out this beautiful area. We call this Sycamore Trailhead. And I think that this is a sycamore tree. big sycamore tree. Not the one with the leaves on it. This guy. But this tree is beautiful. If somebody showed me a picture of this and said, this is Ohio, I don't know if I would have believed them. We actually slept under the freeway here, kind of. There's several more trailheads up that way that we could have chose from, but we needed some cell service to do some research here. So that's why we picked this one. The road noise wasn't bad at night. Got a little more heavy during the morning hours, but still not bad. So tonight we'll probably end up there at a different one. Well, that was fun.
That was so much fun.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and check us out on Patreon, and we'll see you next time.
Bye now.
Bye now.